Hey guys, Quills here. So, I was approached by Habel, who's a Twitch streamer who speedruns Ocarina of Time. He's currently got the world record in Master Quest 80%, as well as a lot of other good records. He's also an Australian, so he's a good friend of mine. He approached me and asked me to turn a bunch of Pepe the Frog and Pepe the Frog emotes that are really popular on Twitch into foxes for him. He had found two versions that had already been done of that on FrankFaceC, and he wanted to replace all his FFC emotes with fox versions of them. So could never let memes just be dreams. So decided to get started on this for him. So I'm working mainly in Illustrator here. Whenever I could find a large quality version of an emote, it made it very easy to just slap it in Illustrator and use image trace and just replace some of the stuff. For some of the other emotes, I had to use Photoshop. The problem being that most of these are only 112 by 112 pixels. In this section here, I had a bit of trouble getting readjusted to using Illustrator because I haven't used it in a few months, so made a few mistakes and had to redraw stuff a few times. With the ears, I decided to use the pen tool, but when I finally finished them, I decided that they looked like crap, so I went through and redrew it with the pencil tool and worked out a lot better. These designs are basically taken straight from the existing emotes. I put a bit of creative freedom in, but mainly speaking, I was just copying something existing and just sort of reappropriating it. The speed of this playback is about 30 times that of when I was actually doing it, which I did live on Twitch. So if you're interested in seeing stuff like this, you can always come check me out live. Otherwise, I'm usually doing Ocarina of Time speedruns or playing music. Most of the time that I spent was mainly just touching up the low quality pictures that I had to make them workable, with greater or lesser degrees of success. You can see with this Pepe one, it's the first one that I couldn't do in Illustrator because it was so low quality, so I just did my best to sort of touch it up in a way that would work for an emote size, but it's not going to be useful for anything else. Everything that I made in Illustrator is capable of being upscaled quite large, so it could be used for t-shirt designs or, you know, pasted large. With Pepe Comfy, I had the issue of his ear coming out of the blanket, so I first tried having it without the ear, but it looked stupid, so I decided to just cut a hole for the ear to stick through. I figured that was the most sensible way to approach the issue. Oh, with these ones it was easy, it was just simply a matter of recoloring them. They were high quality to begin with. Abel also requested that I make the hands into paws, so That was a little bit weird. Just gave him little nubs instead of actual fingers, and I think it looks alright. They only have to be tiny little things anyway, so it doesn't really matter about the quality of all of it. Probably went a little bit overboard with some of the sections. There's a lot of times while I was doing this where I just had to sit back and laugh at the stupidity of the project that I was involved in. It honestly surprised me how long it took, but I mean, I guess I'm used to working with a pretty decent quality. I knew that if I shrunk down something that I just filled in with the paint bucket in Photoshop, it was just going to look like shit. I was just using my mouse as well instead of using a Wacom. I could have plugged my Wacom in, but I don't know. You're just doing this touch-up work. It feels kind of pointless. The mouse is good enough in Illustrator. This one in particular was upsized from a very small image, so I had to do a lot of touch-up work on it to get it right. You can see that, like, sometimes I get the order of operations wrong and have to redo things, but ultimately it's way higher quality than the original, so I think that it's worth it in the end. There's always at some point where you have to sort of give up on making it perfect and just carry on. If I was really going to do all this perfectly, I'd just be tracing over every single line, you know? And for a project like this, I didn't really feel like it was worth my time. Now this Pepe turned out beautifully. Somebody had already done a job of turning it into an illustration file, obviously by tracing over it as well. So whoever did that, fucking legend. That meant that in the end I was able to make this ridiculously high quality version of the emote. So kudos to whoever that was. But not too much kudos because they're just selling it on a t-shirt website, and obviously to steal someone else's design in the first place, so whatever, we're all thieves in art. Here's what I mean with Photoshop just sort of ending up with a really nasty, low quality image, but I'm only working at 112 by 112 here, so I mean, how much can you really do? If you want me to do anything like this, or to actually draw emotes like I did for my own channel, you can always hit me up. I only charge $10 an hour, and I sort of round down for all that time where I'm just sort of wandering off to the other room to go to the bathroom, and like putting on new tracks or whatever. I've never actually done anything like this on stream before. It was an interesting experience. At first I was really nervous because I just felt like, you know, someone was standing behind me, breathing down my neck, but I just got into the swing of things after a while. with this one, I didn't colour the hands brown, which I probably should have. I'm not sure if I should make them into paws either. I don't think I will. I kind of like how silly it looks. But there you go, that's all of them. Thanks for checking it out. It was fun doing a time lapse like this, and hopefully I'll do some more soon.